Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and during this presentation we will be discussing e-commerce content management systems with the main question in mind: should you do it yourself or pay for a developer? As this is the main question every company has to ask themselves when thinking about going into the e-commerce marketplace. We will help you find the best for your company no matter the type, size or budget. We made sure to do all the research so you won't have to. Our aim for this is that you will have a clear understanding of what a content management system is and of e-commerce to help you decide on the right ones, as well as we will be highlighting the factors that you need to consider when trying to choose one for your business. Whether you'll be able to do it yourself or you need a developer will depend on the content management system you choose, as some have many difficulty levels. And we will discuss an in-depth analysis of the top 3 e-commerce best suited for any user with it or without technical skills. We will have a straightforward conclusion at the end describing what businesses should pick what e-commerce systems and which ones were built with specific user and businesses in mind. So get your notepads ready. There's going to be a lot of information, so try and stay with us on this. So we'll start off with, what is a content management system? A content management system is a software application that gives you the ability of publishing, editing and modifying content, organizing, deleting, as well as maintaining it all from one central interface. I know this may sound confusing, so we have tried to break it down into more simpler terms for you. A content management system is a tool that helps you build a website without knowing how to code or having to code it all from scratch. It's a way of helping you make a website as quickly and as easily as possible. This is not the case, however, for many, as some will require you to have some technical skills. That is why we'll be analysing 3 CMSs, each with their own levels of difficulty. So we'll start off with what makes a good content management system. For starters, it needs to have that core functionality that every content management system must have, which is create and publish new web pages, update, remove existing ones, organize the layout with themes, categories, manage and the structure of the navigation, changing permissions for different types of users, and to store and retrieve the different types of content from the database. Next is the editors. The editors are what lets you create your content without having to hard code it in. Whether you want to just make a blog or just a description, this is what you need. So we want to make sure that what you see is what you get when you're typing it in. Okay, customizability must be straightforward and simple to use. That is not complex and brings you in a big, wide rigmarole to create something simple. We want flexibility on the interface, that it changes to suit the user, as every user will have different needs and different levels of technical skills. Some will have many and some will have little to none. So we want to make sure that everything is as simple as possible with no steep learning curve, that it is suited for the everyday user. We also must make sure that it is clean, fast and SEO code friendly without knowing how to code. Now, SEO is search engine optimization. We'll be discussing this more so in depth later on. Maintenance will be a key factor as well, as it must stay up to date with the latest changes in the industry and have little to no downtime to ensure that you can keep selling or making your website 24 hours a day. Security is a must, especially in e-commerce, because what you'll be dealing with is other people's financial details, whether it be bank, PayPal, whatever. We will be discussing this in further detail, but it is one of the key aspects that must always be kept in mind. Support must be offered on multiple levels, from a support form from the very basics to the most advanced, to suit all users. So what is an e-commerce CMS? Well, for starters, let's discuss what e-commerce is. E-commerce is the buying and selling of goods and services from a website that occurs from the transferring of funds from either a business to business, business to customer, or customer to customer. So an e-commerce CMS should allow us to build a website from start to finish, add, remove, save product status, as well as make changes to the features and attributes. Some of the features and attributes must include a project identifier, which usually is the SQL, SKU, okay, the name, the images, description, sale price data, purchase price data, supplier data, stock, and products attributes, whether it's color, size, variations. Okay, now we will discuss how to find the right CMS for your business. Okay, choosing the right CMS, right e-commerce CMS can be tougher than actually building it. So here are the factors that we think you should consider when we are discussing our 3 CMSs in detail. We hope that you keep these in mind. Okay, so for starters, you need to think about where you plan to be in the next 12 months. How big is your company going to be, or is it already at a huge size that you need to plan for even a bigger content management system that will be able to support you and scale with your company? How many products will you be able to have on your site? Will you have somewhere between 1 to 10 or 50 to 200? Or even further, with thousands of different products with thousands of variations? All this must be kept in mind, and we must understand on how much traffic you are expecting to have, as this will be a major factor when it comes to hosting. Now, some CMSs provide hosting, some do not, but all of which we will discuss in further detail. Do you or your staff have any technical skills? This is one of the main key factors you will have to keep in mind, because not all CMSs are as straightforward as they are meant to be. Okay, is there any customizable features that your company must have? Do you need to have built-in accountant details? Okay, do you need to have a specific booking system for like a hotel or a taxi service? Make sure to keep all this in mind when we are discussing our in-depth. Okay, do you want a specific point of sale, or you wish to use, or gateways? Okay, these are all things that you need to keep in mind. We will discuss all these terms in further detail. Do you need separate hosting or built-in? And last but not least, your company's budget. Okay, as some of the CMSs we will be discussing will be for startups, small businesses, medium, large, and just plain up straight organization. Using all these factors will save you time and money. After all, if you think of it as expensive starting out, try doing it twice. Okay, the main 3 e-commerce platforms we will be discussing in depth to suit all kind of businesses and trying to sell products with different levels of difficulty are Shopify, which is made for marketeers and beginners, extremely simple to use. So if you don't have much technical skills, keep that one in mind. Bigcommerce is similar to Shopify, but it's aimed as more so at faster growing businesses. It is simple to use, but it is better suited for some people with a little bit of technical experience to get the full experience of the e-commerce CMS. And Magento for a medium to large business with some cash you spend on a professional web developer. This one is not for beginners. I must say this right now. Magento is designed for professional developers. So if you have no technical skills or you don't wish to hire a developer, this one might be just to steer clear of. But it is there for in case some of our users do have technical experience and think they can handle the challenge. Okay, so here is a quick overview of Shopify. So basically, what is Shopify? Shopify is a cloud-based e-commerce platform for all forms of e-commerce. One of the leaders in e-commerce, it is probably the most well-known out there and might very well be the easiest to use. Their main targets are startups and small businesses, but it allows you to scale with your business. Okay, it provides over 200 ready online shop teams. These teams are shops that are already been built to professional standards and are responsive. Okay, these will be a great help for those that don't have much technical experience or don't know CMS. It has over 2,000 apps in the Shopify App Store. This will also help beginners, as it will give them the available tools to modify and customize their websites to their needs of their businesses. It has excellent support and excellent security. Okay, and we can't emphasize this enough. For beginners, this is a key aspect to always keep in mind. The basic blogging platform is built in, but there are add-ons that can improve upon it, because the basic one is, well, it's basic. Okay, the payment plans are monthly and they vary in price. It can start off from like as simple as $1 a day, but it is paid monthly. It does offer a 14-day free trial with no credit card required. Here is a quick overview of just the Shopify's made features. Okay, some of these features we will be discussing more in depth as we go through the slides. But for now, let's just take a quick look at them. It has all the key and advanced shopping cart features that you would expect of an e-commerce system. Okay, it has web-based website builder, which we need because it is a CMS and we want to be able to build websites with ease. It has over 200 professional teams, a full blogging platform. It is mobile commerce ready, meaning you can sell and do everything from your phone. It has brand and customization of your online store. It will provide you with your own domain name and a free SS cert. Now this SSL cert allows your customers to know that your site is safe and secure, and given that they are providing it is a big help because it is quite a difficult and tricky process to get one. It has automatic carrier shipping rates and accepts credit cards with Shopify. 100 payment gateways, flexible shipping rates, automatic taxes, multi-languages, customer profile, accounts and groups, order fulfillment, email templates, drop shipping, refunds, marketing and SEO, web hosting, analytics, Shopify mobile, and of course, most important for beginners, 24-hour support. Okay, here is just a quick overview of the pricing system. It changes depending on the size of your company, to be honest. It is done by your annual revenue intake. So they will automatically update you to the bigger plan if you're making more money than you should be on the basic plan. But this shouldn't be a problem for businesses because it shows that you're making more than enough money to cover this. So it's more of a nuisance that they contact you in this format. Okay, so is Shopify the one for you? Keeping in mind that do you wish to hire a developer or do you think you can do it yourself? Okay, this is the main question we have made this presentation on. Okay, so Shopify is intuitive and easy to grasp right from the start. It is very user-friendly interface. It takes you step by step through all their parts. Okay, there is no need for a designer with their top-notch customizable templates. 10 are free with 2 or 3 variations on each. But if you want to get that little bit much nicer themes or templates, they have over 200 premium templates ranging from price from $140 to $180 that can be easily changed in the Shopify theme editor or directly if you have the basic coding experience in HTML, CSS, but mainly Liquid, as Liquid is the language that most of their templates are made in. All are automatically responsive, meaning they are already optimized for mobiles as well as desktops and tablets. Okay, this is a key factor because it can be quite a tricky process, so the fact that they do it themselves for you makes it even better for startups and beginners with no technical experience. Okay, it has a customizable interface that it can easily allows you to access features you most use by your company on a day-to-day basis, meaning the interface will change depending on your uses because it tries to adapt for each different users. It has marketing and social media integration and SEO optimization. All this will help people find your site. Okay, this is one of the main key aspects e-commerce sites need because they need to be found by their customers when searching for specific products to make sure that they can stay in business. So again, is Shopify the one for you? Okay, it has a wide selection of apps to help make all e-commerce sites suitable no matter what business you are, and it has enough apps, pretty much 2,000, to cover any need. Okay, all of which are pretty easy to install. Okay, so no developer is really required for Shopify, so keep that in mind, and it is a somewhat cheap option to use. Okay, it takes care of the hosting of your site for you with optimized service structure, service built specifically for e-commerce in mind. Now, Shopify comes with another very useful feature for beginners and startups that don't have much technical skills, and that is that it provides you with a free domain. Okay, this allows you to have a specific URL for your website. Okay, if you do not have one, or if you do, it accommodates both. Okay, you can use an existing one, or it can provide you with a free one. Okay, as they do their own hosting, that takes care of setting up a database, which can be tricky, especially for people that are not very tech savvy. Okay, their uptime is guaranteed at a 99.98%. Okay, that is one of the best you will find on the e-commerce marketplace at the minute. Okay, it has built-in sales reports on just about everything from your product title, by month, by channel, by payment method, taxes, and so much more. But it only comes with one of the higher plans, not the basic one. Okay, it handles all the online payment systems for you, as most of them are built in. Okay, but it accommodates just about everything from Bitcoin to PayPal to credit cards to bank transfer. But keep in mind, all of these come with a fee. The only one that doesn't have a transaction fee by Shopify is the Shopify payments. Each other one you will be paying have a fee of around 2 or 3% per transaction. This goes down in rate with the bigger plans though. It also supports point of sale. This is an option that allows you to take payments from a shop or a pop-up location from anybody's credit card. Okay, which can be very useful depending on the type of business you have. Okay, so just make sure we're keeping everything in mind when we're going through this, that this is so that you can decide whether you want to pay for a developer or do it yourself. And in my recommendation, Shopify is one of the best for doing it yourselves. Its interface lets you set up and manage a variety of sales channels like Pinterest, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, Amazon, on loads of other e-commerce websites. Okay, it allows you to import data from a SCV file, which is great for large products, or if you want to just make changes to multiple products. This would be by far the quickest way to do it. It has 100 different varieties of a single product, but it only gives you three product options. Now this means that if you want to have a specific color, okay, type of so we'll take wedding cards for example. If you want them a specific color, a specific size, okay, it only lets you have three of these options. Okay, whereas a lot of products you might want more, but there is always add-ons for this. It has a great product category system, which is very simple and will has an automatic collection function, which will be done by the names, the types, and the SEO, the search engine optimization, is very simple. It allows you to change or erase page titles with meta description and add in headings and alt text. Okay, it has an app mini one-stop shop, also known as the VATMOS, calculates the appropriate rates automatically. Now this is mainly for if you plan on selling digital products in the EU, as the EU adds on the VAT at the end, but Spotify does this for you. It provides two main apps to manage mobile devices. Okay, it has Shopify and Shopify Point of Sale. Shopify is and always will be one of the most well-known out there, but it comes with its own pros and its cons, like any e-commerce content management system. The pros are it's very user-friendly with no coding or technical skills required. Over 100 beautifully professional-looking mobile-ready templates, offers true 24-hour support, and by this we mean that it accommodates phone calls, emails, live chats. Okay, so very useful for people that don't have technical skills and get stuck on something. Has a very large app store that extends the functionality of your website. It's secure and reliable as it is hosted. As hosting is all done by Shopify on their own servers, which were built specifically for e-commerce. Okay, it has brilliant search engine optimization and marketing, which is a key aspect for any e-commerce content management system. It has a good option for drop shipping. Now, drop shipping is if you want to take an order, and then build what the order is and then send it off. Okay, that is what drop shipping is. The abandoned cart recovery is if someone gets halfway through the process of buying something, it allows you to send an email if they come back to your site reminding them of here's the products that they were thinking about buying at that time but just didn't fully complete the purchase. It has a very simple and effective built-in editor. Cons is potentially high in monthly costs. The basic plan is at $30 a month, but the costs will grow going by if you're not using free templates, the amount of add-ons, the transaction fees, and many others. Okay, the professional reporting functionality is only available on the expensive plans, not the basic one, unfortunately. Shopify Payments is the only one that allows you to sell. Shopify Payments only allows you to sell to certain countries. Okay, and unfortunately, it is not GDPR compliant and will need a third party app for this. And this is mainly for the EU. So if you don't plan on selling in the EU, it might not be a big con for you. Okay, since most of their teams are done with Liquid, to fully be able to customize them, you need to be able to know that language. But there is plenty of tutorials to help you with that. The blogging platform is very basic. Okay, there are apps that help you improve, but some cost money, and we want to make sure the cost is as low as possible for you. Migrating your store can be tricky. For any reason, if you're not happy with Spotify and you plan on changing to one of the other e-commerce content management systems, it can be tricky and may induce a fee for migrating. Okay, adding custom fields like text boxes are unnecessarily complicated, unfortunately, on Shopify. That is one of the main drawbacks for beginners, I would say. The next e-commerce content management system we will be discussing is Bigcommerce. And is it the one for you? Okay, Bigcommerce is a cloud-based hosted platform for all forms of e-commerce. It is one of the leaders in the e-commerce content management system. It is very easy to use, but it is more beneficial to coders. To get the most out of it, you might need to know the basic coding languages like Java, HTML, and CSS. Okay, it provides over 100 ready-made online shop teams, has 600 apps in their e-commerce apps marketplace, has good support and even better security. It has excellent blogging platform, unlike Shopify. Okay, payment plans are monthly and do not require you. Payment plans are monthly and it has different levels, all starting at around $30, going right up to $50 to $70. Okay, ratings and view functionality are already built in, so this is good if you want to get your customers more involved on giving you ratings and complimenting you on your service or your products that you provide. It offers a 15-day free trial with no credit card required. Here is just a quick overview of all the main features that Shopify provide on its basic plan. We'll be going into some of them in more detail throughout the slide. So is Bigcommerce the one for you? Keep it in mind that you want to be able to do it yourself, or if your company has the budget, do you want to hire a developer? It all comes down to content management systems, and this is one of those that you can get by with doing it yourself, but you might have to read a few tutorials on how to get the most out of it. The interface is very straightforward and follows the typical CMS layout with the vertical menu like famous ones like WordPress, adapting to its users' needs. It has all the core functionality expected of a content management system, allowing you to create, add, remove, edit pages and products. Everything that we would expect from a content management system. It offers a range of templates, but only 7 are free and the rest are roughly around $145. Okay, changes can be made to the themes though with their theme editor or editing the HTML or CSS code directly if you have the technical expertise for so. All the templates are responsive for desktops, mobiles and tablets. this is a key aspect considering a lot of people do shop on their mobiles and tablets more so than desktops. So this is one of their key selling points and one that you should consider as well. Creating and editing new content pages is very simple with their built-in Waysig editor, or from scratch using the HTML or CSS if you have the technical skills again. So back to the question at hand. Is Bigcommerce one that you can build yourself or have to pay a developer? It has such great support and offers video tutorials on just about everything that I really don't think that you would need a developer, even though you do need some technical skills to get the full potential out of the content management system. Okay, it also has Bigcommerce University, which gives you step-by-step tutorials on how to do just about everything to do with the platform. Okay, it has built-in fast, secure hosting and uptime of a 99.9%. This is important again because it is built specifically for e-commerce in mind, meaning you don't have to go through the troubles of setting up a database and then connecting it to your website. Bigcommerce do it all for you. Okay, creating custom fields is far more straightforward than Shopify. Okay, and creating pages and everything else is very straightforward, as you would expect from a content management system. It's easy to bulk upload products, which is important if you have a huge product base and you want to get it all online, that you don't have to do it manually. Again, you do this with an CSU file, which also helps to make changes to multiple products, which will also help you save time in the long run. Handles products variations extremely well, better than Shopify, where Shopify only give you 3 product options. Bigcommerce gives you up to 10. Okay, and product variations, it has roughly over 100, similar to Shopify. Product categories can be bulk edited with their built-in bulk editing tool. This is all to help speed up the process if you didn't want to go through your CSU file and make the changes that way and re-uploading it. There is a built-in tool for it. The search engine optimization is very strong. It's easy to edit the page titles, the meta description, the headers, or create specific URLs for a product. Accelerated mobile pages. AMP reduces the load time on mobiles and improves your SEO. This is of key importance considering most sales are done nowadays on mobiles and customers do not want to wait around for your pages to load. So having this function built in on most of the templates is extremely useful when trying to sell stuff. It has Akimi Image Manager, which optimizes all your images automatically and which can improve your load time of your pages by 70%. Okay, it has the Vatmos built in, but unfortunately it is not as good as Shopify's, as you have to manually set the rates of VAT done for EU countries separately. Okay. It provides several types of analytic reports depending on which plan you go for. Okay, again, their plans start off as $1 a day, like Spotify, and then increase to for monthly, and it is increased to $30 a month to $50 to $80, roughly the same prices as Shopify. Okay, it provides several types of payment gateways, around 40. Not as many as Shopify, but has all the key ones that you would expect to see. Okay, it has no transaction fees on their payment gateways, unlike Shopify that charges you that 2 or 3% depending on your payment plan. But the payment gateways, they alone, whichever providers you start using, will charge you separately from your Bigcommerce account on each transaction. It facilitates selling at point of sale, the POS, with 3 providers: Square, Shopkeep, and Springboard, which is useful depending on your business. If you want to have a pop-up stall at a market or anything, this is key to making sure that everything can be done through your website and helps you with your reporting and keeping track of your finance. And the abandoned cart feature is a lot better than Shopify. It it offers up to 3 automatic emails that you can set up specifically to different customer groups. Okay, now again, the abandoned cart feature is if someone tries to buy something but didn't fully complete the process of purchasing it, these emails can remind them of products that they were interested in the past. Okay, again, like any e-commerce content management system, it has its ups and it has its downs. One of the main pros, I think, for Bigcommerce is the no transaction fees. That the only transaction fees that you will be paying are from the payment gateway providers themselves, and they have their own. They all have different transaction fees. It has a built-in product review functionality, something that Spotify doesn't have. Its SEO feature is great. It's very easy, similar to Spotify, that you can change all your meta tags, your headings, your URLs very easily. Okay, which you would expect of any content management system. It has an excellent built-in blog. Okay, now blogs might not seem important on an e-commerce site, but it really does help when you want to advertise or go into more detail in specific products. Okay, it has flexible solutions for vendors with a lot of different product variations. Again, better than Shopify. It has the all-in-one solution that it provides hosting as well. Hosting, security, uptime, maintenance, and that it takes care of making pages, publishing, editing them, removing them, all very simple, the same as with the products. Okay, it has one-on-one support is available 24/7 through chat, email, and phone. Similar to what Shopify offers, but in my opinion, Shopify beats Bigcommerce in this category. It's protected by multi-layers of security, different types of firewalls, file integratedly scanners, and 24-hour monitoring, which is very important on any e-commerce website because you will be dealing with people's credit cards and other bank details that need to always be secure. Okay, creating, editing, and removing web pages, very simple. Everything we would expect from a great content management system. Okay, the cons, however, is extra fees for successful customers. Okay, what this means is that even if you start on the basic plan, if you start making more than 50,000 in gross sales, they will automatically upgrade you to the next payment plan. Now, this might not seem like a con to some people because you are making more money, so the extra couple of dollars shouldn't bother you. But at the same time, I consider it a con because it's almost punishing you for doing too well. It has a great the built-in blog doesn't facilitate RSS feeds. Now, again, some people might not think this is a con, but I personally do. Pricing can quickly start to snowball with the amount of add-ons, templates, with add-ons and templates. It can quickly just increase your monthly maintenance fee, given that how much features you want that aren't built into Bigcommerce alone, more so the third party, especially with transaction fees done by different gateway providers. The theme editor could use improvements. It is very user friendly and everything, but again, it doesn't allow you to get to the nitty gritty of it all unless you know the basic coding languages like HTML and CSS. The Vatmos could be better, like Shopify's that do it automatically for you. It's a new feature they added. Hopefully they improve it over time. Not a large number of add-ons compared to competitors like Shopify has 2,000. They only have 600, but they still have a good selection. Migrating your store can be difficult and may incur high switching costs. The free trial has limits. Now, by limits we mean that you can only make your site go live if you start using a payment plan, and you can also only get access to the free templates, which are only 7 templates. Okay, now these are some limitations, but for a free trial to test out the system and see if it's the one for you, they might not be important. Some of the advertised features are only available in the United States. Again, I consider this a big con because it's almost like false advertising, especially if you were counting on specific features to be able to use, and unfortunately you might not be in the US, then it's no good to you. Last but not least, the one that we'll be discussing in depth is Magento. Magneto. Okay, a quick overview of Magneto is it is a shopping platform built on an open source solution owned by eBay. So it is a content management system owned by eBay, specifically made for e-commerce. When it comes to content management systems, Magneto is the king. It is used by 20% of all e-commerce sites, and this is from recent studies like Electra. It has an all-in-one solution, meaning it does provide hosting and all the necessary things, but that is only with the paid entrepreneur enterprise plan, which is very costly. They do, however, offer the free community system, okay, which in theory it allows you to design. In theory, it will allow you to make a whole website for free if you have the professional capabilities. Okay, you must have technical skills to use this one, as it is designed for professional web developers with experience. It has one of the most extensive feature lists, and you will find in the e-commerce content management system software. It has free download, community and entrepreneurship, can be paid yearly, but it isn't cheap like I just mentioned before. It has a wide range of templates and a great custom design tool if you want to build one from scratch. It doesn't really have support because it is an open source, many of which don't have built-in support, but if you do get stuck, it has a very strong user community that always has solutions and is willing to help out others. Okay, here is just a short breakdown of some of the features they have. They have many more features. We have broken it down into the main feature overview that you would expect on any e-commerce content management system, and then we've broken it down further. Okay, we will not go through them all because, quite frankly, they have more features than you can possibly imagine, that half of which I didn't even get to experiment with. Okay, is Magneto the one for you? Keeping in mind, is it do yourself or pay a developer? Now this one, I'm afraid you can do it yourself if you have the basic technical skills and if you're willing to put in the time, but in most cases people would pay a developer. Okay, with the right technical skills, technically, in theory, you can build a whole website for free on the community edition, okay? But it will take a lot of time. It has all the core functionality expected of a content management system and then some. Like I was saying, they have the most features than any other e-commerce content management system out there. The interface is a bit more complex than the other e-commerce content management systems, but for tech-savvy users or people with just a basic experience with content management systems will find it pretty straightforward. Okay, but over time you will get used to it. The main reason the interface comes across as complex is because you can customize literally every aspect of your e-commerce site with unlimited scalability. It will always suit you no matter how big your business gets. Okay, it has an excellent built-in editor. Okay, and it can even be turned on for those that just want to hard code it themselves. Again, it's more for developers, but if you have the time, you could probably learn it all with all the amazing resources that they have available, that you could pick it up if you have the time, or if you want to make one of your staff learn how to do it. Okay, so keeping in mind, is it do it yourself or pay a developer? It's really up to you and your business needs. Okay, it has everything like templates and extensions are broken down into categories like community and commercial, which can be searched through both with the Magneto Connect. Now, keeping in mind, commercial products can be very pricey, but in most cases easier to use and install. Community is the complete opposite, I'm afraid. Okay, yes, they are free, but in most cases, if you don't have technical expertise, you will not be able to install them. It has a huge range of everything in Magneto Connect because it is open source. You get people building them in the spare time and putting them up there just so other people can play around with them as well. So you will get a good selection of free and expensive in extensions and templates. All templates are responsive and is pretty straightforward. and easy to customize with their built-in tools. Okay, everything you would expect of a content management system. Extensions can be tricky to install, and most are third parties because it is open source. Built with e-commerce in mind, tons of built-in features for SEO, marketing, product management, customer management. This is pretty much why it is the king of e-commerce content management systems. So even though Magento is the king of e-commerce management systems, you do really need to have the technical skills. Even though it is very straightforward as far as CMS's content management systems go, designed for professionals, it does have a very steep learning curve, but it pays off with the fact that you can customize every little aspect of your e-commerce website. Okay, so the community edition isn't very secure. Okay, we're going to be honest with you right now. Since it is free and it is open source, it doesn't really have the security that you're looking for when it comes to e-commerce. No payment card industry data security standard, the PIC compliance, pretty much, which is a huge deal. But this is mainly because the hosting is left up to you. For tech-savvy people or people with general basic technical skills, this really isn't a big deal breaker because you can always find a hosting company that mainly provides secure hosting. Okay, but since Magento doesn't offer its own hosting, they really leave security up to you. It does have built-in security with the enterprise ship one, but like I was saying earlier, it does cost quite a lot, especially if you want to keep your outgoing costs very minimum. After all, the whole point of an e-commerce is to make money. And as far as content management systems go, I have to admit Magento is probably the best out there. Just that steep learning curve can deter a lot of people. Okay, the hosting itself needs to be very robust because it is a very complex system, especially if you have thousands of products on it with thousands of traffic. It can handle it, but your hosting will be up to you, so keep that in mind. It depending on the size of your business. It is mainly designed for large businesses to pretty much big organizations like Samsung, Coca-Cola. It has these types of big ones on it. Okay, it has great maintenance though. No one can take that away from it, with very regular updates to make sure that everything is up to industry standards, and that since it is open source, these updates can include features that you might find in their forms. Okay, they do tend to take features and functionalities that was created by third parties or just the everyday person with professional capabilities of making these features and implementing them if they think they are important enough or people have requested something around the same lines. Okay, but since it is open source, you can always modify these to your company's needs. The support is kind of only emails. It isn't great like other like the previous two content management systems we've discussed, where their support is top notch. This is mainly because it's open source. They only really have emails. They don't have phones or one-on-one chats really. Okay, but like I was saying, the community is very strong and they're always willing to help, but a lot of them will charge you. It's just how it goes. It is a complex system, and even some simple things may take someone a very long time. So it's understandable that they might charge you if they're helping you out. It could take them days even to fix a broken extension that you built yourself or you have gotten from a third party, or even if you can't install an extension, you might need outside help if you're not totally familiar with the platform. Okay, it has a wide range of training partners though to help learn the ropes. Okay, some will cost you, some are free. There's multiple YouTube videos as well that will help you get through it all for the basic extensions. Okay, and to customize every little aspect of your website. It all has tutorials online. It will just take time. Okay, if you have the time, you could easily build one yourself. Okay, but most people will pay for a developer or get a whole department on top of this system if they are big enough. Okay. The basics of creating, editing, removing permissions, everything that pretty much you would expect, like the navigation of content management system, are very straightforward though once you get familiar with the interface. Okay, it's what you would expect from a content management system, that it doesn't make you have to build everything from scratch. It does have the basics already there for you. Okay, you can either hard code it or use their inbuilt editor. Okay. But again, it has its ups and it has its downs. Okay, the pros mainly are its user-friendly administration area is very intuitive and the navigation is very simple and straightforward. It is deeply customizable. Okay, features upon features upon features built in. It beats every other content management system on the market. It has a very large community, okay, of users, so they're always willing to help out if you do get stuck. But again, they may charge you for this. It has an excellent built-in website builder. If you want to build your website from scratch, whether you want to customize it or anything similar to that lines, this website builder will let you do it, or you can hard code it, considering it will only be usually HTML, CSS and PHP. Okay, the database itself will be MySQL though. Scalability is probably the best out there, considering it is designed for medium to large organizations. Okay, it has multiple payment gateways that are supported on many different other e-commerce sites like eBay, Amazon, pretty much everything that you would expect from an e-commerce, and specifically that it was built by eBay in general. They all keep this in consideration. The integration with other e-commerce sites like eBay, Amazon is unparalleled than any other of the e-commerce content management systems that we have discussed. As for the search engine optimization, it has loads of built-in features. Quite frankly, it will take too long to list them all, but trust me, they are all there, very easy to use. Some of them can be very tedious, but that is most of their features. They can be tedious and be a bit too long, but they are very straightforward. They just make sure that you have the ability to customize every aspect. One of the best editors I have seen compared to the other two content management systems we have discussed, as it gives you the functionality and features that you would expect from a content management system, but it gives you extra ones as well that, quite frankly, I've never even seen before. I don't want to ruin the surprise for you, so feel free to download the community one and try it out yourself. It is built with MySQL and ZPHP, which is the most common programming languages for websites nowadays, and quite frankly PHP is my favorite, so this is probably why I like the platform so much. The downside is it has a very steep learning curve, and even for developers it can get tricky, but once you get familiar with the interface and all where everything is set in place on it, it can be very straightforward, but like I said, long-winded at times. It can get very expensive, even with the free community edition, because the templates can cost much. You might need help. That's going to add up the cost. Extensions, if they're not free, they're going to cost you. Okay, but the enterprise one, it's only really recommended if you have high traffic, you have over 2,000 products, okay, because it will cost you thousands in fairness yearly. I think the basic standard is 2,000 a year, but that can go well up to 15 to 20,000. Okay, it has very few professional developers. This is a main downside, that if you do get stuck, or if you are looking for a professional developer to build one specifically on this platform, it can get tricky, and that means very expensive considering there are so few of them. But then again, the community is great. It will always help you out. It is open source, which means it will always have little to no support, unfortunately. But again, community, YouTube tutorials can help with this, but having a built-in support would be a great bonus, but we understand that it doesn't because it's open source. It never stops changing. Okay, extension installations can be difficult. The best way to do it is if you end up buying one, they usually come with a guide for you to follow to install it properly. But if it was built by the community itself and not a commercial one, it can be very tricky and tedious and test your temper at times. Okay, especially if you don't have the technical skills or are not familiar with the platform. The community edition security is very poor. Okay, it needs very powerful hosting that is very robust. Okay, the platform can get slow and sluggish, but that's because of how complex and how much functions it has built in. It's a double-edged sword, really, especially if you're trying to do work on a laptop or a tablet or anything like that. It can get very slow. I really recommend using a desktop. Okay, it can be very time-consuming compared to other CMSs because it has so much features and it lets you customize everything. Okay, it can take up a lot of your time, even to do simple tasks, compared to like whereas Spotify and Bigcommerce are very straightforward. They can literally have a whole website built, set up and running in a few hours. This one might take you a few days. It's not very suitable for small businesses and startups unless you have the technical expertise. It's not really worth your while. Bigcommerce and Spotify would suit you far better. It relies heavily on third parties for just about everything, for extensions, for templates, and then community as well. So we'll go to the conclusion on each of the content management systems, in my opinion. Now, keeping in mind the main reason behind this article is, should you do it yourself or pay a developer? So Spotify is by far the best suited for startups and small businesses and don't have a big budget to hire a developer. It's straightforward, easy to use, and you wouldn't need one, as it's designed to work for just about anybody with no expertise and can set everything up in a couple of hours. Content management system itself is very, very user friendly. In most cases, it will take you by the hand through most processes and features in a easy step-by-step guide. And does all that difficult technical stuff for you, like hosting domains, your SSL cert, etc. Okay, hands down meets every requirement that we mentioned earlier in what makes a good content management system. As for Bigcommerce is more suited for small to medium-sized businesses. Okay, and its users it would benefit its users more if they have the basic of technical skills, but it isn't necessary. But again, it would help to get the full potential out of it. Okay, like Spotify, Bigcommerce content management system allows anyone to build a complete e-commerce website. It lets you with ease and but to get the full potential, you need to have the basic coding expertise. But it does everything you would expect a content management system. Okay, that we mentioned beforehand. It's easy to change, to do your SEL, create pages, remove pages, changes, especially with products and everything else. It meets every requirement that we thought of that makes a good content management system. Okay, the customization is very straightforward and in some cases better than Shopify in my opinion. As for Magento, it is designed for professional developers to create e-commerce sites for large businesses and organizations. That's why the likes of Samsung use this. They have whole departments able to be dedicated to this. Even with people with technical skills, it can get tricky. That's why it is better to have a developer do it for you. Unless you have the time and the basic coding experience, you could do it yourself. It is by far, in my opinion, the best content management system for building e-commerce sites, with all its features and the ability to customize every little part of your website to make it very unique to yourself and to your business. Okay, I personally really like the layout of the interface and how straightforward some of the tasks can be, even though they can be time consuming because they have extra details and everything to make sure it meets the requirements that you're looking for. Okay, it has quite a few drawbacks though, security and support being kind of the main ones that I can think of. But I think the fully customizable ability is a well worth trade. Okay, so I would like to thank you all very much for listening to my presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you very much.